It's the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Jaguars and the Commanders, and it comes your way next.
This building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Washington Commanders. Joining Charles Davis up in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it is time to begin another NFL season. Here we go. And it's a new era for Washington, making their debut under the Commanders' name. And Charles, they're going to face a team in Jacksonville who is starting this year up with a new man in charge as well. So newness on both sides here in this one.
Yeah, and only 3 combined playoff appearances in the last 9 seasons for both of these teams. Washington certainly hoping their new Commanders nickname can bring newfound success after finishing 7-10 last year. Their 4th in 5 years, finishing with 7 wins. In Jacksonville, they're hoping a brand new coaching staff and a breath of fresh air can bring the most out of a young core after going 3-14 last season.
Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from FedEx Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville's offense trots out here for the first time, and all eyes go right to number 16. Now in his 2nd season as the team's face of the franchise, Trevor Lawrence.
For everyone who expected the highly touted Trevor Lawrence to champion the Jaguars to instant success last season, well, they got a little bit of a reality check. Despite the struggles, though, he still took on a major leadership role within the locker room and among the team. He also flashed some of his considerable potential on the field, particularly in a defiant Week 18 win over Indianapolis that knocked the Colts out of the playoffs.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets us forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And this will be a Jaguars first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1. A lot more to go. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Lawrence will throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Commanders are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, over the offseason, going into a 2nd season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. So after the INT, here's Wentz. That's good. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Jags grab it. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And I guess we're back to to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Here's Robinson again on second down. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws. Johnson to return it.
Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So this, the 90th season of Washington football. Of course, here, the first season and first ever regular season game for the Washington Commanders. That name unveiled in a grand reveal back on February 2nd. The franchise opting to keep the burgundy and gold color scheme, adding the striking W logo on each side of the helmet and the single gold stripe running from front to back.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down by the face mask, it appeared. And yes, out come the flags.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Yeah, we saw that from up here, CD. A tug on the face mask and the flag comes out.
And we saw that last week they had some defensive miscues like that. And they told us that they had worked hard on it in practice and thought they had it all cleaned up. But obviously the message hasn't really sunk in.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Into the red zone. Wentz. To the right side and completes it. And the ball is knocked out. And the Jags grab it. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Running out of the gun with Etienne.
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to first and goal. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense tried to stand tall.
They certainly are. And a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You got to walk through a defense and score. Not so fast. Not in this case.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And so much of being a good tackler is understanding and taking the right angles to a ball carrier. And that was just tremendous straight line speed there. He eliminated the angles and was able to meet his man behind the line of scrimmage.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marvin Jones from 3 yards out.
And the Jaguars use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. To throw is Wentz. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter down from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football. Wentz and the Commanders staring down a 3rd and long now after that sack.
They'll set up a throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. Taking on the midfield logo. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field.
We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas, 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in Week 1 this year. And it'll pit the Broncos and Seahawks as Russell Wilson makes his Bronco debut. And, of course, where is it? Seattle. Coincidence? We'll let you decide.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches.
Again, it's Robinson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Jacksonville made Christian Kirk the headliner of their 2022 free agency spending spree, and he's one of the highest paid receivers in the league right now. So what do they expect? For him to get his first career 1,000-yard season and give them big-time production. He gets them a first down right there.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter.
On first and 10, it's Robinson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Throwing on 2nd and 8.
Lawrence. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
And Ingram hauls it in.
And the Jags are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Robinson will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The extra point try now for Santoso.
And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Washington ready to try again on offense.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
On the return, here's Agnew.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Now Lawrence on 1st down.
Complete to Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception.
On 1st down, Lawrence.
He'll find Jones again, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They go right back to him for 20 and a 1st. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
I'm ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Partner, there's no other way you could describe it because that was absolutely just gut-wrenching for that offense. They were right on the precipice. Points were available. All they had to do was just fall forward, and they were going to put them up on the board. Instead, a long drive ends in heartbreak and a melancholy trip back to the drawing board. I like it when I go a little bit lyrical for you.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz.
Got this.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Jags grab it. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Touchdown! Christian Kirk as the first half is winding down.
And the Jaguars are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in Week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Santoso now for the extra point.
And it is now 21-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
One final possession for the Commanders in this opening half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. From the 30 on 2nd down, Wentz. This one left side caught by Gibson. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Throwing on first is Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before half for Wentz. And this one is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll begin out in Houston. And it's the Texans who've got the lead in the second quarter. A touchdown pass there for Davis Mills. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Brandon Ayuk, a touchdown reception. Finally, we're off to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Marcus Mariota, 3 touchdown passes. We continue on with the check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Jags. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for Washington, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter.
And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Gibson here running out of the gun.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Steps away to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body.
It's Devin Lloyd with a pick. And the Jaguars are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 42. They start on the ground with Robinson here.
And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Etienne up the middle.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, you're deep.
But how about this, a fake? Oh, but this is going to backfire as it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick.
And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
The Commanders take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. A handoff running left is Gibson.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Now, Charles, we take a peek there at their recent draft class, and it's definitely a year where they had a chance to greatly improve this team.
And you've got to take advantage when you have this type of an opportunity. 2 first-round picks, you better scout them well and hit on those selections.
That's into the hands of his tight end Bates. And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz.
Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson.
And he's got this down to the 35. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Wentz going to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage, and that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. This to McLaurin out on the left side.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. Ball at the 14 for 2nd and 5.
Wentz. over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
And the Commanders are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now Wentz.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Commanders are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And they'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over.
Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll run again here with Robinson.
And he'll be stopped at the 46, gain of 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. And here we go on the next drive for Washington. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Wentz now on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Play action. Now Wentz. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Over the middle, it's Thomas.
And this is going to wind up working out just fine as he'll have a Washington 1st down. And an exhale there as they convert on 4th.
fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Wentz now on first down. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. From midfield, here's Wentz. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover. And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it. The Jaguars getting set to go. They have to like the position that they are in. Fourth quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson, and he'll wind up picking up about 4, as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Here's Robinson again on second down. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. Robinson with another carry. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Robinson up the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They'll run with Robinson. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
James Robinson, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead.
Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though.
Extra point up and good from Santoso.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
He's got it to Gibson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
On first down, Wentz. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, they'll throw with Wentz.
Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch.
Now Wentz. And he'll go right back to Thomas, complete again. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for week one, and one of our early window games here in week one on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's got to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between week 1 and week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Jacksonville, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders,
they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions.